Hi everybody, welcome to a new Choose Your Own Adventure game that I just bought on Steam today. It's called the Hero of Kendrickstone, created by Paul Wang. We're going to jump straight into this. Chapter 1, A Vision of Dragonfire. A blast of hot air assails you as you enter the subterranean chamber. The stench of stale ozone burns your nostrils. The floor of the chamber glitters with golden coins, silver bowls, and loose gems, all lit a shimmering orange by the liquid ropes of lava that ooze and drip down the black stone walls like blood from a wound. The cavern is immense, but even from its far end, you can see what you came for. Atop a colossal mountain of golden gems, he makes his foul lair. Broken swords, shattered staves, and splintered bones litter the great mound of riches, mute testament to those who came before you and failed. There atop his riches, surrounded by the broken remains of his enemies, he lies, a great winged serpent with eyes larger than a grown man's head, covered in a coat of red scales, the color of blood, and the luster of burnished steel. Azkaroth. Let's say that. The Dragon King. At last, your quest is almost ended. Its final objective is in sight. All you need to do now is the impossible. Kill Azkaroth. One question remains. How? So I'm a mighty warrior. My enchanted sword will best any dragon. I'm a powerful wizard who will best a dragon with a mighty ice spell. So I guess, alright, so this is where I can choose if I'm a warrior, right? A wizard, a thief, or a bard's trickery is my weapon, or a bard. I'll use my thieving skills. Yeah, I want to be a thief. Here we go. Next. You spend a moment looking around for traps before dropping to your knees and scanning the heaps of stolen treasure before you. The path forward is precarious. Any false step could send a current of gold coins rattling down from one of the mounds of the treasure, rousing the cavern's owner. Still, your trained eyes are able to spot a way forward. You advance carefully, your steps as light as a feather as you sneak from mound to mound, taking momentarily cover from the harsh red light of the chamber in the shadows of each steep mountain of loot. Any mistake could wake Azkaroth. Any step could be your last. Only your expert skills and your experience allow you to advance unseen and unheard. After what seems like an eternity, you finally crest one final berm of platinum and rubies to find yourself no more than 3 paces from the dragon himself. You draw your dagger from its oiled sheath and a small brass vial from a hidden pocket. You anoint your blade with the vial's contents, taking care not to get any on yourself. The stuff is a powerful acid, ineffective against metal, but capable of burning through even dragon hide. Now all is in readiness. You put away your empty vial, ready your blade, pick your moment, and strike. Azkaroth screams in rage and pain as the blade sinks deep into his flesh, right where the tendons of the wings and forelegs meet. Withdrawing the blade, you spring back quickly as the massive beast thrashes itself awake, its blood spraying and burning on contact with open air. With near impossible agility, you dodge the dragon's thrashing limbs. Azkaroth's claws are as long as your arms and as sharp as knives. You scramble behind a massive electrum frame mirror as your dragon searches for you, his eyes blazing with fury and rage. "Show yourself!" he roars, loud enough to shake the stone walls of his lair. "Come out and fight, puny man-thing!" This puny man-thing will be the dragon's doom. The stupid dragon doesn't even know I'm a woman. The stupid dragon doesn't even know I'm a non-binary option. Am I gonna be a man? Or like an elf? What should I be? I want to be a hobbit. I'm stealing this. I'm a hobbit. You doubt the dragon will have a chance to be educated about your preferred pronouns before you vanquish him. As for everyone else, they would do their best to refer to you, to refer a mighty hero like you as, something else. Yeah. Them, they, their. Yeah. That's good. You, the puny hobbit in question, reply not with words, but with agility and determination. You judge your moment and rush forward with a running leap. You grab one of Askaroth's wildly flaying wings. You run down the slippery, leathery dragon hide with only your exceptional sense of balance keeping you on your feet. You scramble down the Dragon King's bucking, flailing body, and then up his neck, using the edges of Askaroth's head size scales as handholds. The dragon's thick hide prevents him from feeling your light-footed tread on his long neck. Only when you scramble atop his head does Athkaroth finally notice you. As you raise your dagger to plunge it into the beast's eyes, the dragon's huge pupils narrow in horror. You take a moment to gloat. My name is Serge. No. Yeah, it is. I'm just gonna put Serge. Here we go. I'm Serge. My name is Serge, Master of the Shadows. Aw, that doesn't sound really good. And the first time you see me shall also be your last! Exclamation mark. Askaroth tenses as you prepare to deliver the killing blow. You may be out of reach of both his flaming breath and his sharp flaming breath and his You may be out of reach of both his flaming breath and his razor-sharp talons, but fire and claws are not the only weapon a dragon has at his disposal. No, Master Assassin, you have bested me, but you need not kill me. I'll give you half my hoard if you let me live. Imagine the riches you'd have. For a moment, you consider the immense collection of gold and gems around you. Even half of that would be enough to buy a whole kingdom. You dismiss the thought when you remember why you're here in the first place. You must kill Askaroth. Why do I have to kill him? To protect the nearby city? Because I want the dragon's entire horde to free the dragon's human slaves. Oh, shoot. Does he have human slaves? Yeah, here we go. I mean, come on. You well know Askaroth keeps human slaves. That some of them were guarding the entrance to the cave. They were the dragon master. Fear death. To let Dragon King live would be to condemn his slaves to lives of suffering, and that you cannot do. You raise your knife for the killing stroke. Wake up! Askaroth murmurs, stopping you in your tracks. What could that mean? You clear your head once again. You ready yourself to bring the dragon down. Wake up! Your stricken foe says again, this time loud enough to make your ears ring. Everything around you shake. Wake up! The sound shakes the universe. The cavern around you cracks open and crumbles away, and your world fills with blinding white light. I was in a dream, maybe? I don't know. Chapter 2. The Road to Kendrickstone. Wake up! Your eyes flutter open to the bright light of the morning sun streaming through the window. The light seems to wash over you, a radiant tide burning your eyes. As seconds pass, the light recedes, and you see the dark, blurry outlines of shapes and figures. The world around you solidifies into a concrete image. You wipe the last vestiges of sleep from your eyes and regain your bearings. Looking around, you see... What do I see? The small castle chamber where you've lived and slept as a squire. An austere inn-room paid for you by nightly performances. The village sanctuary where you sheltered last night from the magic-fearing mob. The shepherd's hut where you were born and raised and where your parents died. Let's do an inn-room. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Alright. You haul yourself out of the narrow wooden cot to find yourself face-to-face with a short, paunchy man in a stained but serviceable tunic. About time you got up, No, hang on. I gotta do a voice here. About time you got up, he says, a toothy smile. Oh, toothy. A toothy smile coming easily to his lips. Then again, you're the one that told me to wake you extra early today. You nod. You didn't you? John, the pot-bellied man, turns to leave. If you need me, I'll be downstairs cleaning up, he says over his shoulders. He steps out of your room. You take a few moments to throw on your cloak and belt and your eating knife. Then you sling your lute across your back. It's hardly the most well-made instrument ever created. In fact, it sometimes seems like one good knock from flying apart. Still, it has served you well, and its body's been polished smooth over long years of use. The lute, along with your singing voice and your way with words, paid for your inn-room. It wasn't a particularly comfortable life, but singing is something you enjoy, and you can tell a story like no other. You became well known to the village of Forester's Hollow, and the locals came to the Leaping Lion Inn every night to hear your voice. Still, that chapter of life is done now. You take one last look at the cramped little upstairs room before stepping out on the hallway. Today, you are a village bard no longer. Today, you become an adventurer. You descend the stairs with your few worldly belongings and your loot slung on your back as promised. You find Potbelly John in the large, high-ceilinged common room, the cavernous heart of the leaping lion. Broom in hand, he sweeps the ale-stained and bone-befouled rushes from last night into a pile, and his cadaverously thin wife, Kate, strews fresh ones on the swept earthen floor from a bag with her one good hand. John stops and looks up as soon as he hears you come down from the stairs. "So you're really going to do it, eh, child?" You nod. Woman. "I'm so sorry to hear that, Serge," Kate says. She's stopped working as well. "I wish you'd change your mind. It may not be silk sheets and roast beef every day here, but at least it's warm, and Sir Callum's sworn swords keep us safe." You nod again. John and Kate have... John and Kate plus 8. No? Nobody, Alright. John and Kate have hardly been unkind in your stay under their roof. In fact, you've almost begun to think of them as your family. A life with them, helping them run their little inn, cleaning tables by the day, telling stories and singing ballads by night, will not be a bad one. Still, you know your path lies in another direction, and as much as the Leaping Lion has become your home, you want something greater. What do I want? Rich and famous? I don't think so. Bring happiness through my music and words. I seek to win the favor of a powerful patron. I yearn to strike out on my own, be a hero to others. Yeah. Kate is right. It is safe and warm here, but you've never been one for safety and warmth when it meant you had to live by someone else's rules. The owners of Leaping Lion bid fair to you, true, but you don't want fairness. You want freedom, and you're willing to brave the cold nights and dangerous wilds if it means you can live a life where nobody can give you orders, where you can roam the world righting wrongs and become a great hero like those of legends. You tell John and Kate as much, and both of them seem to accept your answers with as much grace as they can muster. For a moment, John stands there shaking his head, but then Kate nudges him in the side with a wooden stump and ducks behind the counter. He emerges a moment later with a small leather pouch and a stout staff as thick as 3 of your fingers put together, and almost as long as you are tall. John hands you both items. "We don't want you to go, but if you're set on it, we want you to be safe. The roads are no place for a young child travelling unarmed," he says as he hands you the staff. "That'll be a stout enough stick to knock the brains out of any thug who might trouble you." You take the staff in one hand and pouch in the other. It clinks as you grab it, and you can feel its weight as it rests in your hand. "There's 50 silver pennies in there," Kate says. "It'll be enough to get you to the great city and give you a little to live off besides. You know the way, of course?" You nod, and Forest is hollow. The great city can only mean one place. Kendrickstone, a walled city of 15,000 inhabitants, and one of the greatest centers of commerce in the Concordat. It is but 2 days' travel down the great road, a shining promise of opportunity for someone who has known only the mud huts and shabby stone castle of Forester's Hollow. You exchange your last goodbyes. The 2 innkeepers fold you into a long, rough hug. Then, with a final wave, you turn away and walk through the door of the Leaping Lion Inn onto the dirt road, and your first steps as an adventurer. If